Hello, welcome to Superstitions, Traditions, and Definitions. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Carol.
Like we're supposed to be today.
Like we're supposed to be.
All right.
Got it all figured out.
Until we figure out we're somebody else.
Okay. Yes.
One of these days.
Yeah, exactly. What's happening? What are we doing today?
Well,
Okay.
it is Am I the Asshole?
My
Historical
favorite.
edition.
My favorite. What do we got?
It is a fan favorite.
Is it?
It is.
Marvelous.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
All right. Am I the asshole for exposing my sisters and I as frauds?
Okay, I'm going to need a little bit more.
Just a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is Margaretta Fox.
Okay.
She exposed her sisters as frauds.
As long as she didn't expose her sisters.
Pretty sure she kept them clothed.
Good. That's
Not entirely sure.
That sounds kind of slutty when you said that, but then you threw frauds on the end of it, and now I need to know.
Okay.
How much fraud? What are we talking about here?
Quite
male fraud?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
not male fraud.
Okay. All right.
And again, you went back to the goat nuts. You are stuck on that.
I have to be.
Okay.
Scarred.
All right.
For life.
I promise
Your fault.
There are no
testicles of any kind
testicles of any kind.
Thank God.
In this episode.
I can go on now. Let's hear it.
No removal of body parts, even.
Woo. Woo. Big deal.
I know.
No earlobes, no nothing.
Nothing. I kind of behaved today. A little bit.
Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay.
All right. My sisters and I were influential in starting the spiritualist movement.
Oh.
My younger sister and I used wrappings to convince our older sister and family members that we could commune with the spirit world.
Okay.
Our sister assisted us in starting lucrative careers as mediums in 1849. I was 16 and my younger sister 12.
Okay.
We hosted the first public demonstration of spiritualism, charging admission for the demonstration. We were surprised by the number of people willing to pay to hear spirits knock and rap in response to our questions. We became famous, my younger sister and I, with our older sister managing our immense success.
Oh.
Many claimed we were frauds, but more were eager to defend us. Doctors, magicians, not musicians. I mean, maybe musicians.
I mean, they could be, but they're not at the front.
Not at the front.
Not at the forefront.
Magicians were, though.
Gotcha. Because of the magic.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, magicians were at the front of proving them frauds and defending them. It was, pretty 50-50.
Okay.
So doctors, magicians, physicists stood to our defense after proper examinations of our methods. Many noteworthy, influential community members and leaders came to us for guidance from the spirit world. Our older sister became concerned with my younger sister's excessive abuse of alcohol. Around the same time, I was beginning to fear for the afterlife.
Well, I mean, if you're rolling around drunk all day, I mean, that's a problem. You're not going to, not very spiritual.
That isn't.
In that sense, at least in the more modern sense.
True.
Which is not what we're talking about. But
no, not what we're talking about, but still.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of understand it.
Okay.
Quit getting drunk and trying to raise your babies.
Yes.
That was the biggest concern of the older sister.
That she had children.
She had children.
And she was a drunk.
Very.
Fallen down drunk.
Very.
Okay. Why was she such a drunk? If they're making all this bank and...
Because, I don't know.
Because she had access to it?
She had
money
to it. She had money. She was young when she...
Okay.
Just all sorts of... Husband died. She's raising babies by herself.
Okay.
Anyway.
Pull it together, sis.
That's right. Pull it together. Around the same time, I became concerned with the afterlife, my soul, and wanted to return to my roots of Catholicism and denounce the spiritualist movement.
Oh.
So I exposed us in an effort to save my eternal soul and to retaliate against my oldest sister's judgments of my younger sister.
So she didn't do it just for virtue.
No.
She wanted to get back at her sister.
She did.
Yeah. Don't throw virtue in there. You did not.
That's right.
You are not a good person. You did it for revenge.
I told the New York world how we made the knocking and rapping noises by cracking our joints in 1888. So they had like a 40-year run.
Okay. Makes me want to pop my fingers and stuff now.
That is communing with the dead.
No, it's not. It's stretchiness. There we go. Okay.
Okay. Despite my confessions, the spiritualist movement continued to grow.
Well, people will believe what they want to believe.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
They will. And that whole movement promised commune with your dead relatives and guidance and all of the things people want.
Right. Yeah.
So
they want to believe.
Mm-hmm. And it did continue to grow. So these were the Fox sisters.
Okay. And there were 3 of them?
There were 3 of them.
Okay.
Margaretta, who we're going to decide was the asshole or not.
Okay.
The older sister was Leah.
Okay.
The younger sister, her name was Catherine.
Okay.
She went by Kate.
Okay.
So it started, they lived in this house that the community believed was haunted because of a death that had occurred there.
Ah. So they were already on the front lines spiritually is what they're thinking.
Right.
Okay.
So then these kids, 15, 16-year-old, 11, 12-year-old kids start hearing.
Did they not have parents? Did
They
parents
did.
Live there?
They had parents. They lived with the parents.
Okay. In the haunted, creepy house.
In the haunted, creepy house.
Okay.
Older sister Leah is married and gone.
Okay.
So these 2 girls living there start hearing these rapping sounds.
Like the wind blowing?
No. Like they completely made it up, but that's
well, I was
the
going to
point.
say,
Yeah.
They hear something and it gave them a fabulous idea to, hey, we could make noise too.
What actually gave them the idea, I don't know, other than the rumors of the house being haunted. And they're like, oh. So
let's get paid.
Or get attention, I think was the initial.
Or get paid.
I mean, because at this time when they started this, there was no spiritualist movement. I mean, it was kind of there, but not really.
So they started it, faked it, got out of it, and other people ran with it.
So they hear all these rappings. Other people start to hear it too. Something happens and they end up visiting their older sister or moving in with her or something, but the rapping sounds follow. So they're able to convince their older sister that they're communing with the dead.
Okay.
Or with the spirit world. So she believes it at first. And
when did she not believe it? When they told her?
I'm thinking at some point, I mean, it was a 40-year career. At some point she had to know.
Yeah.
I would think.
And after 40 years, you decide to clear your conscience and get back at your sister.
Win-win.
Yeah. No.
Win-win.
I'm going to tell you right now, she's the asshole. But continue.
Okay.
Continue.
So they go visit Leah. They tell her about the things that were happening at mom and dad's. And then it starts happening at Leah's house. Mm-hmm. And there are already seances happening and here and there. But Leah gets this brilliant idea, like, maybe we can make some money.
Yeah. They made it work for them.
They did. And with Leah being the brains of the operation. And Margaretta.
Leah the drinker.
Leah, the older sister, not the drinker.
Older sister. The drinker is Kay.
Drinker is Catherine, the youngest.
Right.
Actually, Margaretta, the second, ends up drinking quite a bit too.
Oh, okay.
Not to the extent of the younger sister.
Okay.
But somehow they get this brilliant idea together to make some money, and they stage this big, almost like a magic show kind of thing.
Fun.
Where, like, there was no no specific, let's talk to your dead brother, have a seance kind of thing. It was
But
a
if it should
show.
happen,
Right. Like people paid money.
Of course.
They talked to audience members. Then they all hear the cracking and the rappings and they're like, oh, that is yours.
They're rapping on my chamber door,
Mhm.
kind of thing. Ooh.
The funny thing is, it was primarily like frivolous stuff at first. Like, should I cross the streets?
Should I invest in this?
Uh-huh. That was a big
Yeah.
part of the spiritualist movement was how do I make some money?
Right.
You know, those ancestors, they're wanting to help you out.
So they say.
So they say.
Well, they're dead. They didn't have all the money and the glory
Exactly.
and stuff. So, why would they want you to have it? Maybe they're hateful.
Maybe they want better for you.
That would be nice.
That would be.
Mhm.
So they do the very first ever production demonstration of this.
Seance thingy.
Seance thingy. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
People paid to come see them. They made money. So then they started doing other things and hosting seances and making a killing.
Because people want to know.
Because people want to know.
Did nobody suspect them? Did they hit
lots of people.
close enough to the... Okay.
One person even somehow figured out how they were doing it and somehow figured out that they were cracking their joints or popping, and wanted them to put their feet on a pillow
so they
to like muffle this. And they also had a cousin that worked for them.
Okay.
And like she would tap them on the shoulder or indicate somehow when to. But anyway,
sounds like cheating at cards too.
Yeah.
Kind of.
If you read, I love this, witches and spiritualism. Those are my two that fascinate me, just because of the crazy around it.
Right.
But if you read much into the spiritualism movements, that's what most of it was, just fraud.
Yeah.
And there were Harold Houdini, was that his name? Houdini. Harry Houdini.
Yeah, he tried to disprove. He was on the trail.
Uh-huh.
I wondered if he was going to come up.
He actually...
Did he know the Fox sisters?
He knew of them.
He had not tried to disprove them, discredit them.
They were on his radar, but as far as them specifically, no.
Okay.
No, I mean, he was absolutely against this movement.
Oh, sure.
Hugely against this movement.
Well, magic is one thing. Magic is what he did.
Right.
And which, it's not dishonest.
No.
It's all a show. This is dishonest.
This is, it's...
and it could cast murk onto him as well.
It could, because they're basically doing the same thing he is. Yeah. But they're claiming...
His is for entertainment.
Right.
His isn't claiming that, Grandma told me where she hid the will. That kind of shit. So...
Right.
No, I get it. Yeah, I see why he would want to take an active role. He's not a charlatan. He was not a charlatan, but who better to catch a charlatan than a magician? Somebody whose mind works that way.
Right.
Interesting. Oh, that's really awesome.
Right.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, they were on his radar, but he, as far as I could tell, I couldn't find anything where they actually met but
gotcha.
But they were front runners in this movement, and he was against this movement.
Yes.
Mary Todd Lincoln was a big supporter.
Yeah, she was.
Like, she had seances in the White House.
Yep.
Like, before Abe died.
Sure. How did Abe feel about that?
Do what?
How did Abe feel about it?
He didn't stop her, so.
Maybe if he figured she's off bothering somebody else, she'll leave him alone.
And maybe it was just sympathy because they had lost.
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
that baby, and he was 4? I think it was a 4-year-old child they had lost before they moved into the White House. So maybe it was just this gives her comfort, and whether I believe it or not, I'm not going to.
Oh no! Yeah,
jump in that.
Yep, I get it.
But, and then they also lost one in the White House. So it was probably just a, whether I agree or not, I'm not going to
Yep.
take away something that is comforting her.
Yep. Go ahead and trick me.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Make me feel
I don't
better.
know that he ever participated in them.
No, I just mean, for her.
But I do know that they were held at the White House for her.
I mean, interesting.
I mean, it was a huge, there's a whole community in, I think it's called Lily something. But it is an entire town up in one of the 13 original colonies up in there somewhere. That is nothing but spiritualists, or was.
Like a commune.
Like a commune, kind of.
Oh, okay. I could see that.
I have to look into that more. It was interesting. It might be a good superstitions episode one day.
Ooh.
Looking into all the.
Gotcha. Nope, we'll have to revisit that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
But sister helped them make millions, or probably not millions, but would equate
back
to
in
that.
The day, it would have been a lot of bank.
And then sister was, and other leaders in the spiritualist movement backed Leah. And their biggest concern was Kate's excessive alcohol abuse and raising two babies.
Mm.
Like you've
and
got
probably not raising them well.
Right.
You had enough money if you wanted to drink yourself stupid.
Right.
Hire nannies, take care of them.
Something.
Do
something. And there was an attempt to get babies away from mama. And so then it was just at the right time where the other sister was like, middle sister, Margaretta was, I've got what I need. I'm in my 50s, almost 60. I need to start thinking about what's going to happen to my eternal soul. And maybe I should go back to my roots and stop fooling people. And, I'm pissed off at Leah at the same time. So win-win.
It's not how it works. It's not how it works. There's nothing, decent about what she did. She, she didn't come clean to come clean. She came clean to nail her sister.
Right.
Well,
I mean, they started this. She was a 16-year-old girl.
Yeah, but she had time to, grow up and
1849. This went on for 40 years.
So, 20 years in.
Right.
36 years old. You can be like, you know what?
Defraud the world.
I've grown a little bit. Maybe I should think about this. And and just kick back. She could have just quietly left town.
Exactly.
Not started the big, brouhaha that she probably started. Mm-hmm. Going after her sister like she did and exposing herself.
Yes.
She could have just left.
Yeah.
Quietly.
Exposing herself, exposing little sister.
Mm-hmm. Ruining all of them, probably.
I mean, and that was, big sister really didn't participate other than managing.
Right.
I mean, she was
in the know.
She was in the know. I'm sure she was in the know, especially after 40 years.
Yeah.
But as far as her revealing their secrets, she didn't really reveal Leah's secrets. It wasn't Leah. It was her.
Yeah, but Leah's involved.
Leah is involved, yes. Mm-hmm. But as far as retaliation, the sister she's trying to protect is the one defrauding.
Right.
With her.
There's not a lot you can protect there.
Right.
No.
I mean, I am mad at my older sister on behalf of my younger sister. So I'm going to call
over my younger sister.
I'm going to call a newspaper and tell them that my younger sister and I fooled everybody.
Wow.
To get back at my big sister.
Score.
Right.
Well done. You outsmarted everybody. How stupid.
Yeah.
Very foolish. She's almost 60 years old. She's got to have, a bit of wisdom in there. Did she not really think it out? And
she was also a pretty heavy drinker herself, so
maybe she was drunk when she made the decision.
The brain cells holding the wisdom were killed.
Sure might have been. Little deductive reasoning, little self-awareness,
So I mean,
you don't pull a gun and shoot this guy because you want to get that guy,
right? And I mean, in Leah's defense, the older sister, if these two girls at 12 and 16, 15 and 11 were good enough to convince their older sister that this was real.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dude, I'm making some money.
Maybe their older sister just wasn't very smart.
I mean, that's a possibility too.
She could have been dense.
There wasn't a whole lot of education for women at that time.
No, there wasn't.
But
that's why you had to count on your intuition and the fact that, women
and if you counted on it too much, you ended up in a sanitarium.
Yeah.
I mean, if you disagreed with your husband at this time, or your father, and you didn't marry the man they picked, or you read too many books, you were locked up because you were hysterical and crazy.
Did any of those women off their husbands or their fathers? Play it off as, oh my God, he fell down on a knife.
More than likely, I would think.
4 or 5 times. You would think that something would happen. You'd be like, you know what? I'm just going to get rid of you, old man.
Mm-hmm. But I haven't. I read a lot of history.
I know you do. I
haven't ran across. I mean, you would think they would, though. But at the same time,
wouldn't you at some point get sick of it?
At the same time, if well, I have to agree with you, or I'm going to the crazy farm.
The crazy farm.
I mean, slip a little hemlock in some tea.
I'm telling you.
And then you're a witch, but they weren't really worried about the witches.
Did they autopsy 1800s. Back then? No. I'm going to say no. Could have got away with it. I'm telling you. Oh, my poor.
Autopsies were starting around this time.
Well, were they?
But as far as testing blood to see, right?
Yeah. No, probably not.
But
well, he liked his tea.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
And a lot of
God bless him.
It looks like natural causes.
Mm-hmm.
So
died peacefully in his sleep. Right.
Or it looks like a heart attack.
Right.
Mandrake, hemlock, a lot of those, the nightshades, they look like. So it very well could have happened. And
there you go.
We're not going to give women the credit for being that smart at the time.
Oh.
At that time.
I was like, well,
at that time.
Well,
it was, oh, look, how sad. He's dead. He had a heart attack.
Oh, darn.
Natural.
Mm-hmm.
Because women aren't smart enough to.
Well, that's why they got away with things.
Yeah.
That's why Lizzie Borden got.
Oh, yeah.
She could not have.
She was acquitted because
a woman couldn't possibly have done such a thing.
Just a cute little girl.
Yeah. She didn't axe him to death. Unless she did.
She was acquitted.
Yeah.
I mean, she was guilty in public opinion. But...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the end of that.
Mm-hmm. But that 12 male jurors,
they let her go.
And she was wasn't she in her 40s?
I think so.
I mean, she wasn't some little girl, some young woman.
Mm-hmm.
She was a spinster. And they still looked at her and was like, no, you couldn't do that.
Well, they probably didn't want to go home and face what was there and think, are you going to cut me up with a knife?
Are you going to hatchet my head?
Come out
Are you going to hatchet my
me to
head
death?
while I'm sleeping on the couch?
I mean, legit things to think about, but who's to say?
I mean, whether it happened or not,
I still can't get over that she ratted herself out.
Yeah.
I mean, I try not to tell on myself.
Herself and her younger sister.
Yeah.
That she was retaliating for.
What happened to them after that?
So this was in...
Did they get sued?
Mm-mm.
Did they go to jail?
Mm-mm.
Oh. So nothing.
Nothing. I mean, there were no laws against it.
Well, I mean, that's when laws get created, when things...
That's right.
Happen.
That's true. This happened... So she ratted herself and her sister out in 1888. By 1895, they were all dead.
Oh. So, 7 years, and that's the end.
Yeah. The younger sister, she had blown all of her money on alcohol and was taken in by a charity to live out the remainder of her days.
In poverty. Had nothing.
And yeah.
I can't believe that.
But, I mean, nothing.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Against it. I get that. I understand that. But that's when laws get made.
That is when laws get made.
Is because bad things happen. And they're like, hey, we know what's going on. Maybe we should visit. Maybe we should discuss. What do you do when someone...
it was a religious movement.
Sure. But there's no religion to it.
Unless they're talking to Jesus.
They were not talking to Jesus. They were not talking to Jesus. Jesus don't visit the seances. I'm just saying.
How many seances have you been to?
All of them.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess if you've been to all of them, you would know.
All of them. Jesus doesn't show up.
All right. I'm going to take your word for it.
Do.
Never been to a seance.
No. Is it on your list along with spending a night in county? No seance. I got that Ouija board.
That ain't on my list either. I ain't doing nothing to communicate with spirits. You open doors that you can't close,
but you that don't need to be open. To go to jail.
That is a door that I am okay closing just for the night.
Maybe they'll keep you for longer. Maybe you're gonna be stuck there.
I told you, I'm looking for there's a fine line. I want a night in county, but not prison. And we're in Oklahoma, so it's a crapshoot.
It really is.
I mean, jaywalking can get you the death penalty, and you murder somebody and you get 6.5 hours of community service and a day and a half of probation. You just don't know what you're going to get.
Oh my God, I know it. You're playing with your life there.
Exactly. I would have to go out of state.
Yep. Yep. I would do more research if I were you.
Yeah, a little bit.
Don't go to Texas.
No, they're worse than Oklahoma. They're worse. You death penalty for everything.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to say she was the asshole.
I mean, she kind of was.
Unquestionably, yeah.
Kind of was.
Yep.
Yeah.
She didn't do anything, like, oh my God, I've got such a guilty conscience. I should give all this money back. No.
Well, no, they had already drank all the money.
Well, I understand that, but she didn't have a crisis of conscience that she went and made anything right with the people she cheated.
No, she didn't.
No.
She didn't. She just wanted to get back at Big Sister.
So she didn't repent. She could, say that's what that was, but that's not what that was.
Right.
All right.
All right, Margaretta.
You're the asshole.
You're the asshole.
Sorry, girl.
Not sorry. I'm not sorry about
No,
it.
not
Don't be
at
an
all.
asshole.
Exactly.
You don't want people telling you you're an asshole. Don't be an asshole.
Right.
I mean, but you're dead.
Quit.
And I ain't going to be talking to you because I'm not going to do that.
I'll bring the Ouija board.
You.
I will. Just say.
I mean, you can talk to her all you want to.
I don't want to.
With your Ouija board.
No.
I am not playing with that. No, you open doors.
No. As long as you close
them. That is not grandma. you're talking to.
Say goodbye. That's all you have to do. Say goodbye and shut it.
That is what they say, but I don't think that's true.
I think it is.
I think once you invite them in, they're like vampires.
No. You can expel them.
I know. Do you know how many times I have?
Expelled vampires?
Not vampires.
Oh. Bad guy spirits?
Mm-hmm.
A lot?
Mm-hmm.
You carry your holy water?
I don't have holy water.
Swing your rosary?
I don't have a rosary.
Okay.
Well, but I carry my smudge stick.
Okay.
And I go to my friends' houses when they're like, I need you.
Oh, Courtney.
Courtney, my administrative assistant.
Right.
I haven't done yours.
No.
Nope,
mine's good.
No, I've done Courtney several times though.
Yep, she needs it. She's got something going on out there.
Mm-hmm. She does. But anyway.
Okay. That's for another day.
I expel them. I don't invite them. So awesome. No spiritualist movement for me. No, I'm trying to fix what they broke.
Exactly. She is the asshole.
She's the asshole. The end.
Decided.
That's it.
All right.
Come
back.
I mean, if you want to. We would like for you to.
We'd like
tell your friends.
Yeah.
And subscribe.
All of them. Both of them. Well,
if you have 3 even.
Oh, exactly. Come visit. Bye.